Welcome to the Cold Coffee Show.
The Cold Coffee Show, humans.
The hold. I almost said break a hole. I don't know what I almost said. Said something like that, but I'm gonna take this gum out my mouth.
You do your thing. Do your thing. Save it for later.
I'm gonna put it right here because I still want it. It's kind of fresh. I just put it in.
Just put it in your face.
Yeah, just put it in there. And nobody knows sense to waste stuff. There's,
don't waste it.
That's what they.
A lot of waste goes on lately.
Man, and they teach us. They taught us not to waste stuff because it was people starving in Africa. Now,
I got to be honest with you. Like, I run to a lot of people who are very wasteful.
You know
who
what?
Don't like finish their meals and who don't, just use something and just toss it to the side. Like, don't even clean up after they sell.
Right. Let me tell you what I noticed my daughter doing, and I didn't realize she was doing it. When she was done with something, or if she tasted something she didn't want, she throws it away. Like,
oh wow,
I could have ate that. I could have eaten that. That could have been something for later. So I had a talk with her. So now she no longer does that. But maybe you think it got something to do with the internet. Now I'm going to tell you, she does watch those shows. Those internet shows that they have with the little kids and the families and all that. She watches Sam and Nia. That's her thing, Sam and Nia. And so maybe they throwing shit away. I don't know.
Well, I think we live in a time where just things are changing, and people, but I don't want it, don't eat it. I don't need it, don't use it. Yeah. And like, instead of saying, do you, I remember it was like kind to share, like even if you didn't want it, like would you like this?
Right.
And now people aren't like that.
People aren't like that. That's true. That's true. They'll just throw it away. As opposed to sometimes it's like if you go to a restaurant, there are homeless people outside who would love to partake in that
and
meal.
I don't know if they do this, but back in the day, they used to, at the end of the day, they would crack open the back door and go like, and it'd be homeless people waiting.
That's right.
And they'd be like, do you want something? We have this, and
Right.
And the homeless people even be choosy. Like, is that vegan? Is that, like
Is that the way they say it?
Yeah,
I love
vegan.
when you, okay. That's
man.
all right.
I got a nut allergy.
I know. Now how do you have an allergy to something and you're hungry? Like, how does that work?
That's another thing too. Like, where did all these allergies, food allergies, come from? I don't remember them.
Now people
years ago.
Right, people walking around with EpiPens, right? Because they're going, they break out in a, what is it, a seizure they have? I don't know what they have. I don't know what it is. The allergic reaction, and it just does a whole lot, and so they walk around with
disgusting.
EpiPens. And even in the school lunches, like in the cafeteria, like when you, at the schools, like in Sasha's lunch, I cannot pack anything that has peanut or nut or any type of nut because the child who is allergic, it's possible for them
to be right next to her, and then they like, wow, where did that come from?
And then children don't follow the rules.
And see, this is another thing. I think that in the process of growing foods, the farmers, there are things that they're spraying on the food that's causing the food to have this kind of adverse reaction.
I can
in
see
our
that.
systems.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if you remember that. Like, there was a time when it was dangerous to eat an apple and then spinach.
Yeah,
I love spinach.
Yeah, what's crazy is this happening to everything.
Yeah,
like they tell you to eat organic. But then they say it's okay to eat the bananas not organic because it doesn't some kind of way absorb or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, sometimes I say a lot of shit I don't know. It's stuff that I kind of touch on.
You are funny. I got to tell you, I love bananas, but I have to be very careful because the sugar content is way, way high.
It is way high.
And when you get old, you can't be eating just everything,
Well, I tell you, it doesn't harm the gorillas.
Well,
But I'm just saying, my point in saying that is, I get what you're saying, but they say that we have to eat this and we have to eat that and we have to follow the plan, the meal plan that the doctors suggest for being healthy. How are these animals still living just eating bananas and shit?
Well, but they have a different
They don't
kind of
eat,
thing.
so I don't care.
Like look at a dog. A dog's
Right.
digestive system is just stomach and then
Right.
straight out the butt.
Yeah,
you
but
know
if
what
we
I mean?
and they
As a
can't
cat
eat
still.
chocolate, and they can't eat chocolate. Dogs, yeah.
They're not supposed to have cheese. They're not supposed to have peanuts.
Mm.
You know.
What about milk?
That? I don't know, but probably not.
I used to have a pit bull, and I used to give him milk.
Oh wow.
So, but nothing happened. But I'm just, my conscience.
Well, I had a terrier, a Danny Dentmont terrier, a really expensive dog that we got from these rich people, and this motherfucker would on the weekends wanted a beer.
The dog?
Yeah, the dog. He would get fucked up.
Oh, nice.
And he was really, how sometimes people are kind drunks. This motherfucker was a mean drunk.
The dog.
Nigga be looking at you.
Yeah. Were you
Because
afraid?
he was raised by, was initially with a white family, then he was with us. And he like,
no, he was
I don't
mad.
trust these niggas.
Yeah. He was
When he got drunk, he loved it, was all loving and shit. But then when he got drunk, he like, I don't trust these niggas.
You know what? The real came out.
Exactly.
That's what happens. That's what they say.
Exactly.
A drunk
and then
speaks the truth.
we still took him to the same groomer, the expensive groomer that he would go to, and they would color his nails and put bows in his head, and he was mad.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's what was
He
wrong.
would be mad as shit.
I would have been mad
would be
too if I
mad.
had been a dude and y'all would, and doing that.
Y'all dressing me like a girl. and
That is
everything.
harassment.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's actually
funny.
being very disrespectful, Tony.
I know. Poor baby.
Did you guys laugh?
Yeah, we sure did laugh at this motherfucker. But we took it out, and then he was all cool out. It was like, yeah, all right. We wipe his nails, and he was all cool after.
Did he slap you five, like a high five?
No. But he would try to lick your face. Like we like, hey, dude, we ain't white. All right?
Like
You can lick my hand, buddy.
like Spuds McKenzie. You remember Spuds McKenzie, that dog that everybody made so popular?
Exactly.
Hey, Spud. Wasn't he drinking like a Budweiser? He was drinking something.
I don't know if he was drinking, but I know he hung out with a lot of alcoholics.
Yeah, Spud.
When he was
McKenzie.
around on the skateboard, somebody was getting fucked up.
Somebody was getting it. Yeah.
Somebody was getting lick it up. Spud.
So didn't you tell me last week that Marilyn McCool and Billy Davis Jr. was a part of the Fifth Dimension?
Fifth Dimension.
I looked it up, right?
Yes.
And I saw them. And do you know their story? Their story is they didn't like each other at first in the group.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it had anything to do with the height because he was shorter than her. But she really was into him, but he wasn't digging her. And so then he finally caught on, and yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
she's really pretty.
She's beautiful. She's
And look,
beautiful.
I mean,
And tall women got it. I'm just saying. And so he found out and he married her.
what? And they went
That
on
went over
to
your
like,
head. That went over your head. I said tall women got it. He found out and he married her. You missed it. I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it.
he found okay. I still don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm really slow.
You are. And I didn't know that, Tony.
I know, baby. I'm slow.
I didn't.
And if you gotta explain the joke, it's
It
not.
It wasn't even a joke. It was the truth. That's the thing about it.
Well, I think tall women do have something special.
No, it's okay, Tony. No, we're not gonna even. We're gonna let that go.
Well, let's just say this.
Okay.
She's very attractive. I don't see how he couldn't want her.
He didn't. He didn't. Yeah. So they have a cute little story. He stayed with her for over 30 odd years.
Oh, they broke up now?
No, they're still together. But I was just saying what I was reading,
Oh, okay.
which was probably some old material.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then I remembered the song, right? And now it's gone because that has to do with age. Sometimes you get information.
Oh, that's funny.
And then it
goes away.
Yeah, and then it'll come back. Like what it
It'll
does is
come
it
back
goes
in.
somewhere back up into
Right.
the the backtal lobe. I know it's a frontal lobe, but I what they call the back part.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm messing you
It's
up
in
today.
storage.
Did you see my glasses move from the front to the back?
Oh no, I
They went to the back. You know what? One time I had a wig on at a show. No, and you know I don't wear wigs, right? No, stop it. Knock it off. Stop it.
This is
Tony.
already funny. Go ahead.
This is when we went to Korea. The Funny Honey.
Okay.
Tess took us to.
Tess
It was Tess, Angela Johnson,
Angela Johnson.
and a few other hosts. But listen, so
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, Shama. Do you know Shama?
Shama.
No, well, she's from L.A. And,
I don't know her.
And then it was another. Anyway, so that was when she was doing her reality show,
Okay.
which didn't. It was actually good, but nobody picked it up because I think she said something about they were taking her idea, and I believe, I don't want to say who took it because I don't want to, but
Start no stuff.
yeah, because they came out with the same idea,
Kinda
but they
show.
did it with men. Yeah. Yeah, and so
Wow.
yeah, but oh well. What
That
do you
is
do?
not cool.
That's not cool, but because it was really good. I even had beef with one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to spice it up. This
So,
was before, yeah.
Yeah, pretend beef.
And it was real beef.
Oh wow.
Because she said something stupid. Yeah, she said something because that's what black women act. I said, oh no, you don't. So,
wow.
Yeah, so we went.
Hey, now
there.
this is the lady that was on. Wasn't she also on Women Behaving Badly or something like that?
Yes, but that's her. That's not Shame though. That's the other girl, and that's who I got into it with.
Okay.
Who?
I opened up for her at the green room.
What was her name? That's okay. I can't think of her name either.
And she actually grew up here in San Francisco.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
she didn't. Anyway, she ended up.
She was kind of on the wiggerish side, thinking she could say and do whatever.
And that's what happened. Yeah, everybody can't say and do whatever.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's not
Wow.
okay. It's not okay. And then she was out there messing with a brother.
Of
So
course.
what?
They think
yeah.
that gives them carte blanche,
Yeah,
don't they?
man.
Huh?
Do. She said, I said,
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! You might be able to say that at home in the
yeah.
privacy of your home, but
Yeah, first
don't
of all,
bring
that's
that
not
in.
the way we all get down.
Mm-mm.
Secondly, because basically what she did was she stereotyped me.
Oh,
Because she didn't know me, right?
snappity.
So I let her have it. Very, I was polite, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was very polite and very diplomatic. Yeah. So.
Wow, this was this prior to 2006?
Yes, it was because
Okay.
I didn't have Sasha yet.
Okay, because I remember.
It may have been 2006.
I remember opening up for her probably after this incident.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that because I think she did come here a couple times after that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she came to the green room.
I remember you telling me that, and I don't know why I can't think of her name because we talked about it.
I can't think of her name either.
Back then, we talked about it. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, people do what they do.
Wow.
Such is life. And here we are. So, what do you think about this whole retrograde and Mercury and being in retrograde? Mercury being in retrograde. I'll tell you, when I first found out about it, was the other day.
Yeah.
And my cousin called and she was like, everything is happening and going out of whack. It's being, really everything is weird and cars are breaking down and computers are breaking down and everybody's in this little uproar. And she said because Mercury is in retrograde, and I was thinking that it was like Mercury, like not Mercury in the universe, but and so I'm like, what are you talking about? Like how they say a stone can alter like a amethyst or some kind of stone or a crystal can alter people's emotions.
Exactly.
So that's what I thought. But anyway, she told me about that, so I looked it up.
Yeah.
And I found out what it is they're saying retrograde because retrograde means going in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that Mercury 4 times a year goes in a different
Right.
direction than the Earth, right? Than the normal route. So it goes counterclockwise as opposed to clockwise. I guess you could say that, right?
Yeah. I think
And
that's
so
the
for the description purposes, but um,
when that happens.
when that happens, that's not what's happening. That's not what happens because the Earth moves faster than Mercury.
Right.
So when we finally get to the point where we are meeting and passing,
Right.
Mercury is going slower than the Earth. And so just like when you're driving in a car and a train and it looks like the train is going backwards, but it's not really going backwards,
Right.
that's what it is.
What's happening.
So it's really not going in the opposite
But
direction.
I will say this. I mean, you know, things do get kind of wonky.
Maybe because it's so close.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend. Well, she's still a wonderful friend, and she now she's overseas, but she was living on the East Coast, and she would always talk about Mercury being in retrograde. Oh, don't do this during this time because it's in retrograde, and you know, and I got to tell you, all the years at the Brainwash, whenever there was a full moon, always something crazy would happen.
Remember, I did a show that night, and it was a man who came in there and caused all kind of ruckus. I think you had Marvy put him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
it got really ugly.
Probably Marv was really great
Yeah.
for getting people out of
Well,
there.
you know, Marvy was.
I remember
bully.
this dude was challenging me, and I said, dude, you can't be on the list. And then I went to Marv. I said, Marv, this guy's trying to challenge me. And Marv just looked at him and said, don't do that. And the dude walked straight out. he looked up. Don't do that. Like that was so beautiful.
Yeah, Marv. Yeah, no, yeah, Marv.
Yeah, but normally what would happen on the onset would it be like because you know I think there's like a tranny safe house, transsexual safe house over there, and so what transsexual come in and they're like, you know, you want some of this, you know. Oh, to me, while I'm trying to host and like, come and get it.
Oh my God.
You know, like, wait a minute, I think you got me confused with somebody.
Right.
I ain't got you confused with nobody. And so I'd have to clown them and get them out of there. You know?
No, I remember that. It was really
that would
ugly.
happen almost every full moon.
That's interesting, but they've been, you know, that's been I don't know.
But I think that we as human beings are really connected to, you know, that whole thing.
Well, technically, all the way around.
Yeah, but I mean, what they say our body is 70% water, and because of that, when there's a change in the tide and the moon and all this other stuff, it affects us.
Yeah,
in that
I believe
way.
that. I believe that, and so maybe just the closeness of the two planets, maybe it does alter some things.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's definitely not going backwards.
Yeah?
Yeah, scientifically, it's not going backwards. Astrologists say that it's going backwards, but you know, science says it's not going backwards. But I know a lot of people have had some chaotic things going on.
When that happens.
There's March 22nd to the 15th. So that's to March 22nd to April 15th. So that's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's the 15th?
Or maybe not. No, because today is the 13th.
Today is Friday the 13th.
Today is the 13th. And today is Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Yeah, technically, we are filming this on Friday the 13th. It's going to come out, though, on the 16th. You'll see this episode on the 16th.
So we'll be beyond.
I mean, we'll be beyond all of this.
The chaos.
Yeah, so I guess don't really worry about it.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, by the time you see this, it'll be done.
It'll be done. But if you did have some type of malfunctions in your life, in your world.
Or you're watching this live. In Mercury in retrograde. Be careful.
See?
Over the weekend.
See? But the thing about it, if, on Monday, if you're watching this on Monday, understand that all the stuff, the chaotic stuff that has been happening in your world, it's over. And great things are about to happen. Isn't that something?
There you
That was
go.
sweet, huh?
Yeah, well done.
I'm sweet, huh?
Well done.
Thank you. Am I sweet?
Let me tell you something. Sugar calling is jealous. All right.
Oh, look
Yes.
at you. You know how to say all the sugar stuff.
Ah,
Look
stop
at you.
it. Stop.
But guess what?
What?
We're missing Big Smooth.
I know. He could make it.
No,
today.
he's not feeling
He's
well.
under the weather.
I think he's being, no, you know what? He's being affected by the retrograde.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's had a lot of things go on this month.
Oh,
Yeah.
Poor baby.
Yeah, and a little bit of last month, actually.
Oh, man.
But everything is going to be all right, and it's going to get better.
Yeah, well, our prayers go out to you, brother.
Yeah.
And we hope that you feel better very soon, especially by our next taping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
We miss you.
We truly miss you. We need some zingers in here, and
Yes,
you're
we
the
need
guy.
'em.
You're the guy with all the zingers.
Oh my God, I think I'm going to do this for you. Oh, no,
it's not
It
working.
ain't going to work because you're not here.
Mm-mm.
Ooh. It's not going to work because you're not here.
Yeah.
You see the effect that
See?
you have, Smooth?
See, normally when you do the thing is,
Yeah,
you know,
out the box.
Yeah, but
When I did it, it faded our
yeah.
our name. It faded the cold coffee.
But that's because you have the magic touch, bro.
You got the magic touch.
You understand?
Yeah,
Mm.
like Midas.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Midas, as I was told, everything he touched turned to gold. Yeah. You remember that? That was Run DMC.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I know now.
No, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
I mean, you know, I'm representing my
know.
Adidas standing on 25th Street, funky fresh
Uh-huh.
and yes, cold on my feet.
What?
No shoestrings in them. I did not win them. I bought it off the ad with the price tag in my Adidas. I like that. That was great, Tony.
No, that is beautiful. Oh my God. There's I was just telling somebody there's a comic book called Hip Hop Family Legacy or something like that. It's written by a guy in England. It's the whole comic book, and it's about hip hop during the era of Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and African Bambaataa, and it rips the veneer off of the whole thing. It really it goes into detail as to, you know, I mean everything. The choice of lyrical styles, their choice of clothing, you know, and I mean it breaks it down more like, okay, we decided on this costume and we decided on this script, like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's something that you mentioned that San Francisco, hipsters, the hipsters, the word hip came from hipsters. Here in San Francisco through the hippies were hipsters, and that's where hippies came from. The word hippie. Bob Kane, what's his name?
Bob Kane.
Bob
Kane,
yeah,
the columnist.
The columnist. He coined the phrase hippies for the hipsters. And then, you know, the jazz musicians, they turned it and used it for hip because hip was the cool. Well, first it was hep, HEP,
right. Yeah,
and then
like Hep Cat.
Yeah, exactly. And then they changed it. You know, eventually they switched it to hip. And then the first hip white man was Bing Crosby.
Get out of here.
I read that.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
Bing Crosby was the first hip white guy. Wow. Isn't that something?
That is something. I would have thought it would have been Pat Boone.
Nope. It was Bing Crosby was the first hip
white dude.
Wow. Yep. But yeah, it was and then they went on to say that hip was considered to be cool and laid back, and you know, you never really it was related to African Americans. It was related to people who just didn't really care. You know, people were too Republicanish. And in that time, everybody, most of the white people were Republican-ish,
Mm.
and then when they started rebelling, and it was that, and then it became what? You know the word I'm looking for? Cool.
Cool.
hmm
Cool.
Yeah, it became cool,
Mm.
and so it was accepted, and the rest is history. Yeah, and so it went to New York, and it, that style. But the whole bebop thing, and the bebop was considered a little different than the hip, because bebop was more jazzy than the hip, and then the hip kind of was cool and kind of. It was just like everything, just like everything, and everything that we say. What we are always related to everything wonderful.
Yes, it always gets appropriated.
Just because what did the guy say? What's his name? Was his name Michael? That was he spoke at the BET Awards, and he said just because we're magical, or just because we're magic, doesn't mean we're not. What did he say? I
don't remember.
You don't
and
remember
I saw
him? And it was just
last night on an event, and I don't even remember Michael's whole name.
Is it Williams?
Yeah.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
But no, dog, I wanted to quote him, and it just, there we go. It went to the back of my brain.
That's okay.
It went to the back of my brain.
It's going to come out after the show.
It's going to come out, and hopefully it comes back before.
Well, that's all right. Hey, listen, this is the thing, though. I need you to like, subscribe, share, and what's the other one where you
push alert? But I'm alert. Ding, please push alert so you guys can know when we're coming on. And right now I am totally baffled because I really want to quote him right now. It's killing me. It's killing me. I don't know what to do right now.
Well, we always have a computer on hand.
How about that?
To tell us what.
How about that? See, and that's another thing. What are we going to do?
What do you mean, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do with this?
I don't know.
These computers.
I don't know.
They're going to kill us one day.
You think so?
I think it's going to be a revolt. I think when they finish making all those goddamn robots, I think it's going to be a revolt.
Oh, you are funny. I need my glasses. I'm old.
You want mine? Oh, you got them.
I have my glasses here.
Okay, so, but at any rate, what Michael? Oh God, just because we're magic. You guys hit us up on Whoop Wop on YouTube and let us know. Is it anybody on? Nope, nobody's chatting.
Maybe we're not interesting today.
No, we are interesting every day. We're just
Here, let's try this.
Just because we're magic doesn't mean just because we're magic. Somebody has to help me out with this. Anyway, did I tell you that I work?
Yeah, you have a job.
I have a job.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped working a while back, and now I'm back on the scene with a gangster lean.
Hey, what?
Tony, we running out of time. You ain't gonna be able to tell him what it is. But
It says Michael B. Jordan.
Is that his name? Maybe that's it. Is that it? I don't think that's it.
Or is it Jesse Williams?
Jesse.
That's
his name. That's his name. Jesse
Williams.
Yeah. What did he say? Because it was very profound, and I just want to share it before we run out of.
We are gonna run out of time because
no,
it's not written.
Put BET and put Jesse Williams.
All right, so.
You know what? You play too much, Tony. Let me get my pocketbook up out of here. Let me get my pocketbook. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just hold on. You just hold on. I'm turning to an old lady. You just hold on. Wait a minute. Let me find my telephone, and I'm going to get on here, and I'm going to let you know.
It's a 4 minutes. We don't have time for the speech.
What happened to my phone? Oh, it's over there charging.
Yeah, we don't have time.
No, but it was a quote. He said, I think everybody started quoting him after that. It's no, Tony.
I don't see the quote. Okay. Here, let's do this.
This is driving me insane.
No, let's do this.
Insane in the membrane.
Here we go. I've got one more shot at this.
You got a couple of seconds at that, actually. A couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. would have been alive, she'd been so free. Gentrifying our genius, trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like some kind of strange fruit. Just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. There you go.
Just because we're magic does not mean we're not real.
And that's time. That's it.
That's it.
We got to go now.
Coffee
Hey,
Show.
thank you so much for being part of this magical experience today here
at the Cold Coffee Show. Yes. And we will see you next week.
Please.
Hopefully with Big Smooth.
Get well, buddy.